What's up guys, so just before we begin today's episode, I just want to wish you all a very happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I don't know what you say, but whatever you're doing, have fun, stay safe, see family if you need to. It's a super tricky time of year. I think it's very important for mental health reasons to make sure you communicate with your family, make sure you're okay, and like I say, most of all, make sure you are safe. Let's get into the episode. So the day started like this. I had this idea in my head that on the server no one's making money. And in terms of making money, what I mean is diamonds are kind of being spent to get certain people to do things, but then are being received back, so the currency was always kind of stagnant. So my idea was to start a big massive farm of both pumpkins and melons, I believe it is. The only issue with this is I only had one pumpkin and one melon seed, so I started off by simply just planting them to get it out of the way. And then my ideas turned to what to work on in the episode for the next few hours. And I said to myself, well, what can I possibly make, possibly a little bit of money from, but also benefit from myself? And that is why I started on the enchantment room. Now the enchantment room is something I always struggle with, because I don't want to build it too big, because then it wouldn't fit the whole theme of my village being relatively small builds but loads of them to make it look really sort of outspoken, really lived in. So I went online, and I know some of you were going to slate me for this, some of you were going to say, well, you can't do that, you can't steal ideas offline. I didn't steal it, but I went online, I looked at a few ideas, looked at a few pictures, so what I wanted to do. I found a pretty cool guide that I took the initial limits in terms of how big and everything it was, so it fit properly, and then I kind of put my own twist on it and decorated it myself. So if you see the building, just know it was like a half and half. This isn't something I'm going to do in future either. 99.9% of my builds are always my personal builds. I always make sure I do them myself, even if I do take a picture as inspiration. But this is the only build that is going to be like this, purely because of the dimensions needed for the enchantment table. So I started to build, and what I saw online, again with the dimensions, I really liked, but it also had to fit the theme. So as I go through the video, you'll see that I'm mainly making cobblestone walls and then knocking out essentially half of the overall wall in order to build and make it look more natural. So I'm mixing in some polished andesite, some normal andesite, and then I was going to add gravel, but the way gravel works and the way it falls was going to stress me out, and I knew someone would end up seeing it there and want some flint one day. So I went for that palette mainly, with the stone bricks, I believe it is, intertwined into the overall structural build, and I really liked it. I really liked the way the walls were turning out. And then I turned my attention onto the roof. Now the roof in the pictures and the videos I watched was always something I was kind of complacent about. I didn't know how I wanted it, because roofs are for me the hardest thing to do in Minecraft. You don't know whether to do just a simple stair upon stair roof and it makes it, you know, that perfect angle, or do you do the classic stair and then two upstairs to make kind of a taller roof, or even a slab roof. All these things were going through my mind, and all these things I was thinking, do I or don't I do? I ended up going with a roof that kind of looked a little bit broken. It had a little sort of encaved bit where the window was, just to give it a bit of life, and then on the other side I ended up doing that just basically flat, pretty blank. But I wanted the feature side, the bit where the door is, where you're going to really be looking at it, to just super be focused on all the time. Now after I'd kind of done the roof on the tallest part, I then went to the smallest side. Now the smallest side was even harder for me because it's not all one level, and so building a roof here, I saw in the video they had chose to do it a roof towards the highest side, and that's something I have rarely seen in building. I loved it so much, I'll be honest, I copied it pretty much brick for brick. I absolutely loved the idea, and it's something I'm going to incorporate in my future builds, absolutely. But I got that done. I basically built up the walls, thought about where the window was going to go, thought about the door, got everything sorted, And then I kind of take a step back and look, and I think, yeah, I really enjoy what this is looking like, and I really think it's going to fit with the overall aesthetic of the build. So I carried on getting the resources needed, the stripped birch and the stripped spruce as well. Really love that combination. Birch on its own, the actual log, looks kind of nasty, but when it's stripped, I don't know, it has a kind of rustic and modern design all in one. It's nice and bright, you can see plenty with it, you can decorate with it easy. I absolutely love it. So I carried on, I got basically all the walls built, got everything done to a certain extent, up until maybe some of the windows needed just filling in with glass, the decoration needed doing inside. But at this point, one of the people online, one of my friends, decided to invite me to his house. Upon going to his house, he takes me down a very precarious ladder, and I see that in his spare time he's been collecting and breeding villagers. Now, this, I'll be honest, is what I was going to do next, because if you can get villagers, you can then sell your villagers with mending, and you can make a lot of diamonds. I was too late, however. I mean, I could get it myself, but the effort would be immense. I went in, and he'd made a really, really good start, and so I offered, because I'm pretty much the best builder on the server. I will say that I'm the best builder just in terms of making things look right, you know, making them look like they could be a realistic design. I'm certainly not the best at PvP. I would lose at pretty much every battle, and the other guys on the server are a lot better at a lot of other things, but building's my strong suit. I've been playing Minecraft now for 10 years. It's really where my expertise is. And so I said to him, for 10 diamonds I'll decorate, I'll make it look however you want, I'll make it look really good. We haggled, he then offered 9 diamonds, a diamond block, so we agreed on that. I said I'd get started tomorrow, I just wanted to finish my base. So I came back to my base after seeing his immense work on the villagers and the breeding and the mending books that he's already got, which really wound me up. And at this point in my head I was thinking, I need to get the pumpkins and melons sorted. If I can trade with these and get a ton of diamonds, possibly get, you know, pay a fee in order to use the villagers, then I'm going to be a happy man, and I'm going to be the richest man on the server in terms of trades, because everyone else is going to want to come to me to get those pumpkins, to get those melons, and they're so easy to do in a farm, it is ridiculous. I carried on, however, every now and again taking a step back, having a look at the build, thinking, is this how I want it? And it was. Every step of the way it seemed to just come together, and that is what I love, when blocks just kind of merge and you're able to fit the tone and the theme of whatever you're building so perfectly, and I was super happy with it. Now at this point I'd basically finished, it was 99% done. I decided to get off for the night. Just to come on real quick, guys, you may notice the textures look ever so slightly different. Started using a new resource pack or texture pack, I believe it's called Simplicity or something. It just makes everything kind of a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to look at for me. It makes my game run a heck of a lot smoother as well for some reason. So if you notice it kind of jumps between one or another, sorry about that, it will be permanently this one in future. And then coming on the next morning, all that's going through my head is get it done so I can go make them 9 diamonds. So when I got it done, I filled in the windows. I decided to use blue stained glass. Now I used blue because pink is cool. I made my windows and my house pink. I love it. Who doesn't love pink? Well, quite a lot of people, I guess, because it's not my favourite colour, but I love pink. So what? Fight me. But I went for blue. I used my lapis that I have an abundance of, and I went for blue, and it gave a nice little tonality difference. And at this point I also do want to mention the side of the base, pretty close to the start, I decided to put on this side bit, and I used campfires in order to get a, I believe it's called a gondola. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure, but it gives a really good effect of like this overhang, and I put a little chicken in there, and yeah, life was good. The chicken though wasn't, because he hated it in there, he kept trying to escape, but never mind. The build at this point was 100% done. I just had to nip inside it, put the enchantment table down, get the books in there, which meant slaughtering many a cow. I don't feel bad, they knew it was coming. Maybe they shouldn't have moved so loud, that's all I'm saying. But I did it. I went inside, like I say, decorated. I got a few buttons, put them around because they make a nice little effect. A few kind of, I say, sloppy cobblestone stairs in there and other stairs where you just kind of throw them in to give a little bit more depth. I really, really liked that. And it was done. The build was done. Well, 100%. In time, I may add more to it. I may sort of change a few things, but what it looked like was good. I had my chimney. It looked really cool. I had that side bit with the chicken in there. And then I put a little competition on our server chat. And the competition was this. Whoever can come up with the best name for my chicken wins a prize. And the name that won, well, the options were Kelvin the chicken. Okay, not the best. Then I believe there was the option of something else that was a pretty crazy name, but let's be honest, I couldn't pronounce it, and so there's no way I'm going to write it. And then came along Anton with the suggestion of Bradley Cooper. Coop as in chicken coop, and made me chuckle, so it's the name we went for. So we got the name tag, ended up putting it on the chicken. Life is good. I was super happy. Again, I believe I came in the next day, added the road, and that was it. The build was done, the enchantment room is done, and I now charge 10 iron for the ability to use it, to use the fully level 30 enchantment thing, which I don't think is too bad. Hopefully I get a few iron, because at this point we have no iron farm. It is a bit tricky. And that was it. That was it for this build, this episode as well. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do. Have a great Christmas. I hope you have fun. Everyone let me know in the comments if there's maybe a build you want to see me do next. Stay safe. I'll catch you next time.